Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome
Welcome.
to Gag's Economy,
And Gags Economies.
the podcast where
We talk about freelancing in New York City as musicians for hire. But it can extend beyond that.
extends wherever we want it to extend.
Yeah. And
extend
gag.
it.
Yeah.
We extend it all over the place.
We extend it and we talk about our gigs and our gags. And we talk about work.
And some things go right and sometimes they go wrong.
Yeah. We like to make light of them. When they go wrong, they went wrong for a reason.
Yep.
And, if you need some help navigating those things, you've come to the right place. That's all I can say.
We have a very cohesive episode for you today.
Yeah, we're taking the sensical route. God forbid we have a little fun and go a little wacky.
Not today.
Not today.
Today we are talking about getting fired.
Oh, yeah, huge topic. We've all been there. Hopefully. And if you haven't been there, you're in for a rude awakening.
Yeah, you're about to get canned.
You're about to get fired because you listened to this episode.
You got another think coming.
So we'll give you some advice.
Absolutely.
But it happens to everyone.
We have many topics to discuss.
Yeah.
We have some current events regarding legend Smokey Robinson.
Oof. He's under fire. I mean, his name is Smokey.
Where there's Smokey, there's fire.
Absolutely.
We have a write-in gag. We have a ghost of gags past.
Yeah.
We have some commentary on the New York freelancing scene in general. Which,
Absolutely.
when do we not?
When do we not? Don't you want that? Don't you want to know the ins and outs?
When do we not commentate?
I'm full of comments. My brain is comment. I'm commenting on my comments.
I got comments on other people's comments.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. So where should we begin, Esther Perel?
Well, oh my gosh. I had a dream about like a therapy pod.
Really?
Yes.
Were you on it?
I was watching it and it was like taking place in my vicinity or like like I could see it. I was watching it. Then I was in a place like a new house. Like, you know how in your dreams you have houses you go to, sometimes you return to them?
Yes.
This house was a new house. It was a house I have never been before.
Was your dream about that Orna woman that's been popping up on
Everywhere?
Reels? Yeah.
No.
That couples therapy show?
No, it wasn't about that.
Have you seen those?
No. I've seen the reels, but I haven't. Is she the one with the dog?
Yeah, she's the one with the dog.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who aren't familiar, I stumbled upon this interesting lady who's just like talking about therapy and how expensive it is with her dog on her lap. And I'm like, and she has a really beautiful sweater on. That's all I know. Apparently, she's taking over my dreams.
Yeah, she's in your dreams now.
Yeah.
I had a dream that I was playing an audition.
Oh.
You know what's crazy is I never, ever, ever, ever had dreams where I was playing the violin until like this year.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You know what?
Why?
You were probably playing second fiddle to your violin life.
Yeah.
Now your violin's first fiddle.
It's my first one.
Yeah, your whatever other life you had was your violin was second fiddle to that.
So true.
So true.
Oh, speaking of that, we might also talk about string quartet politics.
There's so much to talk about.
Let's just see where it goes.
Let's see where it goes. We're riffing. We're spitballing. Sans the spit. Are you kidding? Disgusting.
Where should we start?
Why don't we do a little news hour with Smokey?
Okay, I'm going to pull up some articles.
We're going to pull up some articles. First of all, this man is a legend. He was in, what was he in? What was that?
Temptations.
Oh, that little band, that little group of singing men. Uh-oh. What do you see?
I think it's a criminal investigation.
Is he in big trouble now? Damn.
It seems like he might be in big trouble.
I don't know if I'm equipped to speak on this.
I know this is seeming pretty intense as I'm Googling.
Ooh.
They're using the R word and the SA word.
Saw?
Sauce.
Some ass?
Yes.
I know what the R word is, but some ass, I don't know about
Some
that.
ass allegations.
Some ass allegations?
Okay, I'm going to do some heavy censoring because our pod is not so serious.
No, it's not so serious, but we need to do this.
They opened a criminal investigation into boop and boop boop allegations
Oh, gosh.
against Motown luminary.
He really is. Damn.
He do be lumining.
Yeah, and his shows are always sold out, right? I think.
4 former housekeepers of S word, R word, Smokey Robinson,
Oh, it's Smokey Robinson.
filed a lawsuit alleging that he had repeatedly boop and booped them. I am feeling uncomfortable.
Okay, so we're not going to go deep into this. I was going to say some stuff about it, and I will see if I will, but I remember 3 years ago, it was during my special trip that you take when you get married to my ex. What's that called?
It's a honeymoon.
Okay, it was a boop moon.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was on my honeymoon.
A honey boop.
A honey boop, and I was contacted to to find a string quartet to play with Smokey Robinson. And it didn't work out for me. I didn't feel like it paid enough, to be honest, for me to take on that stuff. And I passed on it. And then an acquaintance of mine ended up taking it. And after that whole energetic thing, I just kept seeing Smokey Robinson everywhere. And then inside my head, I was like, shit, should I have taken that gig? That always happens, you know?
Always happens. Always happens.
In
Should I have taken
hindsight,
that gig?
I'm glad I didn't, but
Friend of pod, Catherine, who was previously guest of pod.
yeah,
Pregnant Catherine. Now her baby is
Born.
a baby and has 2 teeth.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's a lot of teeth.
And is in the 98th percentile for growth.
I'm thinking football.
Yeah.
I'm thinking basketball.
She's a lady.
I'm thinking women's basketball, rugby,
Women's rugby,
javelin throwing,
shot put,
curling.
mini golf,
I'm thinking big stuff here.
maximum golf. So that Catherine
Yeah.
has played the Smokey Robinson gig
Yeah.
a number of times.
Yeah.
Apparently there's this big violin solo that's
no.
really way too high for that kind of gig.
Yeah.
And she was cranking it out.
Oh, she had the big solo.
Yeah.
The BS.
And either Smokey or some big shot on the gig was like, that's the best we've ever heard the violin solo sound. And then Smokey Robinson gave her a kiss on the cheek.
Ooh.
And his most recent album's title is Gasm.
You know what? That's very interesting. That's short for orgasm, right?
Yes, it's short for
Interesting.
orgasm.
I wonder why not just include the O.
The or?
Was it apostrophe gasm, or
No, just
No.
GASM, Gasm.
have you ever been like, I'm about to gasm? I've never said that.
This track on Smokey's album makes me want to gasm.
When there's smoke, there's gasm.
He said, your violin solo was so in tune, so soulful. I just about gasmed.
Damn. How did she feel? Do we know? Did she?
I did ask her for comment on this, yes.
And she felt good.
She said his album's name is Gasm, so, this is just in the air. What can you expect?
Here's what I would have done.
Okay.
Okay.
If you were Smokey
If I were
or Catherine? Okay.
I would have backed up and been like, if you want to kiss, $500.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Kiss on the cheek.
Kiss on the cheek.
He's like, okay, I'm Smokey. You're so funny. You can't be serious.
Honey, my kisses are worth it. And so I'd be kind of like selling them too.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm also, they're worth way more than $500. You're getting a deal, baby.
What do I pay for a kiss on the forehead?
Oof. Right on the brain? What are you trying to suck out my wisdom? That's going to be $12.50.
Whoa.
A kiss on the forehead? $12.50. Kiss on the cheek? $500. Kiss on the eyebrow? $399.
Yeah, that's hairy.
$399.
It's a hairy area.
Yeah. Hand holding with Smokey? For a minute of hand holding? $1,000.
Now, please take a moment to divorce the S word, A word allegations and the R word allegations from what I'm about to say.
Yeah, I was same with me because I'm literally listing my prices.
Right? Okay, we realize this is a serious topic.
It is serious.
And
we got it.
We got it. But we're
Okay.
thinking about the Smokey Robinson gig, okay?
Yeah, we're thinking about that gig.
Because we know a lot of people that played his gig and you turned down his gig. So we're in the gig world.
We're already there. Okay, we are
Right.
adjacent to this stuff.
What if
Yeah,
you're on this gig, you're playing the string quartet part.
yeah.
String quartet's never out there for the whole show.
No,
You know, usually come and go for a couple numbers,
Yeah.
or maybe you're just sitting there. Smokey's like, I think it would be fun and playful if when you walk off the stage, I'm like, Marta Bagratuni, everyone, just a little tap on the butt.
a little tap,
Yeah.
a tippy tap.
Yeah.
I turn around and say that'll be $5,000.
Ooh.
I wink. That's what I would do. What would you do?
5,000 seems fair.
Sure.
It depending on the tap.
Yeah.
Type of tap, you know?
So yeah, I guess that's how. I
Is there any
feel.
celeb who would get
free pass?
A free
Free
kiss?
pass?
Yeah.
Who would I let molest me for free? That is the question we are asking right now. Well, you know how you say
At work.
You know how you say molest in Spanish? To molest? Molestar. I think.
Let me guess. Let me see if I can guess who you would allow this
Okay. Yeah.
to molestar you.
Yeah. Go. You said to molest when you do it that way.
I know.
It's okay.
Because I speak Spanish.
Yeah, you should know this.
I know it. Okay. I think there are the obvious ones like Arnold Schwarzenegger. But
Obviously, yes.
he's not in the gig world.
No.
This is not realistic. You're not going to be playing a gig.
Oh, so you're doing Gig World.
Yeah, we're doing gig world.
I might be doing a gig.
I'm saying
Arnold?
like I take it back. I hope you do a gig for Arnold.
Thank you.
Knock on wood, please give us gigs with Arnold.
Yeah, all I want to do is play salon concerts at Arnold Schwarzenegger's house.
Absolutely.
That's all I want.
Absolutely.
Please hear me, universe. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
You would let
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that you would let Smokey Robinson.
Yeah, I would.
I don't think you would charge him.
But I would. No. I would definitely charge him. What are you talking about?
I don't know. You would let Stevie Wonder.
Absolutely.
No, free of charge.
Yeah.
Kiss on the cheek, a light tap on the butt.
Yeah.
There's no grabbing.
No grabbing.
It's
no
just
R. No
playful.
essays. Nothing. None of that.
Absolutely not.
Let's be clear here. I feel like we need to reiterate that we
Let's-
are dealing with a sensitive topic.
Double down. We do not stand behind R's or SAs.
Yeah. And we're not taking sides. We are merely observers adjacent to the news
Look.
that we have recently just received.
We're journalists.
We're journalisting.
We're trying to do our
Journalisming.
jobs as journalists.
Yeah.
You know, you can't just commentate on
No.
anything. This is our job.
Right. And if you rewind back to earlier in the episode, you know that my comments have comments.
Right. You think that Anderson Cooper has to apologize when he reports on genocides and whatnot?
No. To
He's-
be clear.
He's just reporting. Like, that's us. We're reporters.
But I did have a friend who said, "Oh, can you believe it? Like, of course he did. But I mean, every picture I see of him, he's like grabbing a girl."
Oh.
So she was like, really, she was vibing with the news. She loves that this is happening.
She wants the takedown.
She wants the takedown. She wants it so bad.
Who do I want to be taken down?
Oh yeah, who should we take down?
Everyone that I could name
Yeah.
is a regular person.
I don't know if I want to take anyone down. I would like to take ideas down. I would like to take fashion stuff down. I would like to take down certain movies, like that recent Cronenberg film. I want to take that down.
Yeah, you want to do a takedown.
Yeah,
I don't even think I want to take down a person.
yeah.
You know?
Let's be clear. I don't love everyone. You know, it's not like I love everyone, but
No.
because you
but-
can't say you love everyone. Okay, you can. All right, you can respect them as humans, but if you don't, you know,
Indifference is the real takedown.
yeah. Indifference is the real takedown. We're doing Buddhism on takedown.
If you really want to take someone down,
Yeah.
go like this. Who?
Boom.
Oh,
That's it.
I don't know. I don't know her.
That's it. That's how you do it. Because then here's what happens when you do this. If someone's like, if you said no to a gig, but then you know who said yes to the gig, and sometimes you're having a little gig FOMO, and someone says, "Oh, she's playing the gig," you go, "Who?
Yeah. Oh, good. Good for her.
Oh yeah. Oh, no way.
I don't
Oh
know.
my
her.
gosh, wait, she plays? She's a musician? Oh, she plays stuff?
Oh my
Oh,
god.
like she makes sounds?
No, I've never heard.
Heard of
or
her.
him.
Or them.
Anything else that we want to say?
No, there's
on
so many
this?
lessons to be learned from this situation. I wish for resolution and for everyone to just be free of this pain because it is terrible. Okay, please.
Thoughts and prayers to everyone involved, and
Yeah.
especially those musicians who might not get to play this gig anymore.
Yeah, you guys might not have a gig
I'm sorry, but it
because of
sounds
who
like
you chose to identify yourselves with. It was your choice.
it does sound like Smokey's going to have to take a little break from touring.
Yeah,
to deal
I'm
with
sorry,
some-
guys.
I mean, it sounds like his legal troubles are about to be
Yeah.
ramping up.
But guess what? Energetically, this means more room for some other people.
Yes.
Or I don't know if I believe in that. I do believe there's room for everyone. Yes, right? For everyone. Yeah, totally. I think so.
I don't know.
I don't
know if
yeah,
there
I'm not a
is.
physicist. So in terms of like mass density, I don't know that. But
Maybe there's room for everyone, but just in different places.
in different places.
It's like when you go to
Yeah.
a different city outside of New York and you're like, here's a place that all these people could live.
Yeah, and
Look at this, a wide open space.
yeah, and if people are accused and then tried and then found guilty of a thing, their room's going to be a cell, a little prison cell.
It might be smaller, but there's room for everybody.
There's room.
Sometimes the rooms are tiny cells.
Tiny little cells where you get free food.
Okay, so Smokey might get fired from his gig of being Smokey.
And go to jail or pay someone off.
That is our
That's
theme
the
of the
three
day.
thing. Yeah. He's fired.
He's fired. He's now that's the theme. So let's continue on this theme.
Yeah. Ding dong. New theme. No.
New topic.
Topic.
Ding, new topic.
Ding, new topic.
Have you ever been fired before?
Absolutely. I was fired from. Oh, is an audition is bombing an audition or like having a weird audition the same as firing?
In this case, yes, it is.
I mean, it could. Yeah, I do have a good firing story too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But what's your weird audition story?
Oh, okay. So back when I had this random agent I was freelancing with, should we say it?
Yeah.
It was your ex-husband was my agent for like 3 months, attempting to help me with like agent stuff, which I appreciated, but like I was basically doing the same thing too. So it was just like another person like doing what I was doing. Mm-hmm. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you gonna cry or laugh?
Laugh.
Okay. Or laugh, cry.
I'm gonna laugh.
Okay.
It's really funny.
Yeah, it's so funny. I was like, okay, cool. Like, help me out.
Yeah.
And like, I was like, why not? Like, Lil Wayne's brother was his agent.
Right.
Keep it all in the family. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's true, but something like that. You know?
My ex-husband was your agent for a time.
For 3 months. Mm-hmm. Nothing came out of it. I didn't book a single thing. But I did get some really fun auditions and
Yes.
some good stuff for real. Mm-hmm. But this audition that he had me go to in person was one of the funniest things that ever happened. Mm-hmm. I show up and it's not even an audition. They're already filming.
What?
They're already filming everything because I think this was part of their movie, was holding auditions.
What?
Yeah. So this was like a year after COVID, like maybe like 2021 or something. It was still mask time. Mm-hmm. And I had left my mask on because I was like, I don't know why there are cameras everywhere. Mm-hmm. Like that are on, because red button means on, mm-hmm. in case you guys don't know. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, and then I had to sing this song that was like this insane like MAGA song, like talking about like conspiracy theories, talking about like how the government's trying to kill us. All of this stuff, and I was like, okay, I'll sing this song, but like I'm not gonna uncover my face.
Smart.
Yeah. And then the guys who were there, first of all, they were like, well, how are we gonna know? How are we gonna see your face? Or like, how are we gonna? And I was like, no, I think I'm gonna keep the mask on.
Good job.
And then I sang this awful song. And then they had me like improvise a song of like this like weird political MAGA poem they wrote. And then I was like, okay, who should I try to emulate? So I tried to like do like Miley Cyrus, like how she scream sings?
Yeah.
So I was doing it in that way.
I wish so bad you knew the song.
I don't remember it. Oh, maybe I can dig through my emails, find it.
What?
Yeah, it was so cringe. And then they were so pissed off that I wasn't taking my mask off. They were like, okay, you can leave now. I was like, oh, you don't want me to read the sides? Because there were also like sides, not just a song. And they were like, no, we're good. Thanks.
Did they think that your mask was from COVID fear?
Yeah, because I was like, oh, and then also they were like, oh, please take your mask off. I was like, I'm not going to take my mask off if you're filming me.
Yeah.
Like, I thought this was an audition. And they were like, it is an audition. And I was like, but why are there cameras on? And then, like, they couldn't answer that. And they got flustered and frustrated.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
They just were going to straight up steal your image.
Yeah, they were going to steal it. I was like, I don't want my light. Yeah, exactly. It was like,
which wouldn't be the first time, by the way.
Yeah.
That your image has been stolen.
Yeah, exactly. People just randomly, they be taking my picture and selling stuff with it. Mm-hmm. That's happened twice. Actually, once in middle school, and they just like took this picture of me like posing with my instrument and put it on the front of like the county schools system magazine.
Yeah.
They didn't even tell me. Isn't that crazy?
That's so crazy.
Yeah. And then another time it was candlelight concert, just straight up ripped off an image of me.
And just put you on all their marketing
Put
materials.
me on all their marketing. Yeah.
Never have we signed anything
Never.
saying that that's okay or not okay.
Yeah. And guess what? We still play candles every day, every
changed.
week. Nothing has changed. We have not learned our lesson.
No, but you did learn your lesson, and you went into the MAGA audition with your mask on.
Yeah.
Which is really smart.
It was really funny though too, because I was like, honestly, with my mask, I felt like I could like say and do whatever. I felt free. So I was like doing all those weird like Miley Cyrus, you know how she opens her mouth like.
Yeah.
So that's what I was doing.
Wow. And they probably thought that you were
serious.
Yeah, and that you were serious, that you were afraid of COVID because it was like maybe 2022.
Oh, 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just didn't want them to rip off your image.
Yeah. So they had thought I was actually scared. That I was scared of COVID. But really, in actuality, I didn't want them to rip me off. And I wanted to practice my Miley Cyrus thing.
So
what if they were actually not filming a movie and they were actually just like, I don't know, doing like community service or.
Right.
Or maybe they were doing CIA stuff.
Exactly. Or maybe they were just trying to spread some MAGA propaganda or even anti-MAGA propaganda.
Who knows?
Something was off.
Something was off. Nothing is as it seems.
But honestly, I've never met an audition of any kind that's not off. Auditions are so creepy and weird. Like auditions, I feel like for actors are crazy.
Yeah, they're absolutely crazy.
You just spend all this time preparing something for the creative team for this project, and then inevitably that will seep into their psyches and creative process.
Yeah.
So even if they don't pick you for the job, your performance will be informing how that character develops. And I don't know how it's allowed. And auditions for musicians are, I'm sorry, I'm like on record of being so. What kind of pill?
Speak on it now.
What color of pill is this that I'm on? Something pilled on auditions.
Black pilled.
Black pilled.
Yeah.
I'm black pilled about it.
It's okay. Charcoal was really good for you.
I'm putting charcoal everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just they all seem pretty fake. So the MAGA one seems, par for the course.
Just as fake, yeah. My thing that's like, it's tough, like, because now, like, for auditions for, like, a play, like, you don't really end up with a vastly different idea of the character, like, after you audition. It really is what the director sees is what they get, and the range of like what, like you don't really ever play around with range that much either. Like you just, what the director sees, they're like, okay, they want to see that, great, cool, bring that again. They don't want to see another thing. They don't really want it to develop in any kind of intense way other than like developing it, like making it a part of your body or whatever. Real honestly, acting, like yes, acting is acting, but like if you can find yourself in that character, then it really is about how you can be true to who you are and who you, like, whatever, and just be natural. That's why the naturalistic actors are the most successful sometimes. Why am I sad now? Why am I being sad? I feel sadness come over me. Do you feel that?
Yeah, I feel a little sad.
I don't want to talk about something, and I don't really remember what I don't want to talk about. And
Should we switch gears?
Yeah.
Should we pivot away?
Well, yeah. So an audition that I sort of bombed and got fired in. I don't know. This is a stretch. I do have a you're fired story.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Can I hear it?
Yeah.
You're fired.
You're fired. All right.
You
So-
fired.
So we all know those the hot girl gigs,
Yeah.
which is this is our universe. Okay, we see them all the time. We see you guys swaying back and forth, playing nonsense
I've done it.
because we do it all the time.
We'll do it again
Yeah. So
if the price is right.
this was one of those for a brand new model Ferrari. It was a Ferrari. I was supposed to be some electric cellist eye candy playing with a saxophonist.
Let me just give some context
Yeah.
for the non-musicians out there.
Yeah.
We've probably explained it before. There exists a phenomenon in this town especially, but in every town if the opportunity presents.
Yeah.
Where some event will take place, maybe an opening of a gallery or a rich person's celebration of their child turning 13.
Yeah. A quinceañera.
Quinceañera.
A bat mitzvah.
Yes. Just as you would order enormous bouquets of flowers or fancy hors d'oeuvres or a special color of carpet.
Yeah.
You can also order hot women who play instruments to stand in matching dresses and sometimes play for real, but usually play for pretend.
Play for pretend. And slap a couple of chicken cutlets on me. You know,
Sure.
I clean up okay, I think. Get that makeup artist in there. I'm good.
Yeah.
You know?
You're going to like what you paid for.
Yeah.
You're going to get what you paid for.
Oh, yeah, I'll sway. I like to
Yeah.
dance.
Yeah. Smile.
EFD.
Often there's a gig boss somewhere who's telling you to smile. He's
Yeah.
telling you what direction to sway.
Yeah.
You know what? It pays the bills sometimes.
Pays the bills a lot of times. And if you're around people like gig allies, which we have mentioned before,
Yes.
but gig allies are necessary.
Yes.
You must have at least one gig ally on the gig or pop those SSRIs.
Yes. And here's what I don't like.
What?
I don't like people who show up to these gigs with a bad attitude. I don't like when people show up and they're like, I guess we're all here, right? You know, it's going to be a long night. I'm like, that's not going to get you anywhere. How about this? Sneak to the buffet. Sneak to the bar.
Sneak.
Play a funny game with your friend you're standing next to.
Yeah.
Look in the crowd for celebs or women wearing crazy clothes.
Yeah.
You have 4 hours in front of you. You're making better money than most people working the event.
Yeah.
Certainly better than the caterers.
Yeah.
Just strap in.
Strap in. You know?
Have a good time.
And sure. And if you're really trying to play the song, play the songs too.
Or just play scales. God forbid you practice some scales.
Yeah, use this as individual practice time. Which I do sometimes.
Me too.
For basically every time.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say I have had a bad attitude at gigs, but you got to turn it around. The skill is, the gift is, turn it around.
Turn it right around.
This is what Gag Economy is about. Gig, turn around, gag. Bad attitude, turn around, good.
So true.
Happy, turn around, sad. And then happy again. Because no one likes the sad bitch.
Yeah.
See ya.
Stay
All
there
right?
for 2 seconds maybe. Switch it.
What are you, Sylvia Plath? Get out of here. She probably smelled bad. Let's be real.
Yeah. You know why she put her head in the oven? Couldn't turn it around.
She didn't know which way the knob went. That's why she did it.
She thought it was only on.
She thought it was only off.
Oh, does this knob
then-
only go to sadness?
Yeah. And then the other knob, stupid smart, she couldn't figure out how to get out of it.
It was honestly, it just boiled down to a knob problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're on your hot girl gig.
Yeah, it was me and a saxophone player. I'm
Interesting
also
combo.
supposed to be acting as active sound man here because I'm bringing all the equipment and plugging in. So what happens is sax goes into the other room. I do my thing in this room with the same song playing. Of course, we're in a huge boomy car show room, right?
you're-
Auto show room.
You're both playing with a track.
Yes.
But you're not in the same room, so you can't hear what the other person is playing.
Yeah. And we can't hear what the other person is playing. And we also, the sound's bouncing off all the walls. It doesn't sound like we're playing together at all. Immediately, someone comes to me and starts standing, looking at me, and I'm like playing around, but I can feel the weird energy because this was like the boss from before.
Yeah.
The weird person we had to check in with upon entering
Yeah.
while setting up. And then they were like, they kept walking by and trying to listen to what I was doing. And 20 minutes went by. Someone comes to me and says, we're going to take a little break. Yeah. And I was like, okay, sounds good. So I just stand there and like nod along. Meanwhile, rappers are pouring in. They're celebrating this new, Ferrari. And then like all these rich people and like rappers walking in while I'm like standing there like just like with this electric cello doing nothing.
Is the track still playing?
Yeah, track's still playing. Saxophone guy still playing. And I was like,
Oh, so it was you're going to take a little break.
yeah. So naturally they beeline to me.
Right.
Who to blame? Probably the girl.
Hot girl.
Probably the girl. She doesn't actually play this instrument, which is what the person asked me.
Stop.
Yeah.
Wait, so they asked you to take a little break.
Yeah.
And then what happens next?
And then I'm just standing there for like an hour. I was just like, okay, like, all right. And then the saxophone guy comes over and they ask him to stop and they try to figure out what to do. And then they KO'd my ass. They 86'd me and they let the sax guy stay.
Wait, so what did they say to you?
They said, they asked me, they're like, so you're a musician, right?
Oh.
I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah. And the funny thing was that I've played there before with a hot violinist girl. And the entire time we were supposed to be standing next to each other, not roaming around.
And then, okay, so then you said, yeah, I'm a musician.
Yeah, I was like, yes, I'm a musician. I've played here before. Like,
And then they said, like, did they ever come clean and say what they were doing?
they said they were like, this doesn't sound right. This doesn't sound right. This doesn't sound right. And I was like, okay. Like,
What did they...
I don't know. They just didn't like what they were hearing. And after the contractor who got us this gig showed them videos of us both playing together. And they approved of it.
That is so funny. And then did they tell the contractor? Did you get paid for the gig?
I got paid. Yeah, I got paid a little bit. I
A
got
little
paid
bit?
I think I got paid half.
Wow.
Yeah. And then the worst part was like the party was still happening and I was like packing up my instrument and like taking my speaker down and leaving.
And the saxophone player's still like...
Yep. Yeah. Yep. And mind you, this was like we were playing along to like literally cafe house tracks with like maximum 1 chord change. It's all just one
So
chord.
interesting because people do not hear the music.
Yeah, exactly.
In that setting.
Yeah.
I had a gig recently where I was standing in the middle of a lobby
Yeah.
playing when guests entered.
Yeah.
And in the next room, which was very close by,
Yeah.
a full band was playing.
Right.
So you couldn't hear me over the band. And if you could hear me, it would sound terrible because
Yeah.
I was supposed to play different stuff than the band.
Yeah.
So you have to ask yourself, I guess this is a message for whoever this Ferrari guy
Yeah.
like, what's the setting? Do the guests care
Yeah.
what it sounds like? Probably not. Mm-hmm. Maybe should you ask, I wonder if I've created an environment that's conducive to successful music here.
Girl, that's a lot. I don't know.
Like, what kind of person is just like, oh, they're probably not a musician?
Yeah, I don't know. But I think what was happening was like sound was bouncing off differently in another room, and they were hearing my like or whatever, or straight up maybe sax and cello sound terrible together.
Well, sax, cello, and track.
Yeah,
in different room.
Let's be real here on like
Right.
speakers, Roland's.
Also,
Are you serious?
This
people?
is just just for the sake of interest. I'm following their thought pattern of this sounds bad.
Yeah.
It probably didn't sound bad.
Yeah, exactly. It didn't.
It definitely didn't sound bad.
No, it didn't.
But like, if you're gonna co-sign this reality, this sounds like shit.
Yeah.
Maybe two musicians playing in different rooms aren't gonna sound good together.
Sure.
Wow. What a good story.
It was so crazy and it was so funny. And like, I will say, the ride back, I cried. I cried because I was like, oh my God, these people, like, because they, you know, immediately when somebody has to fire someone else, they like, I don't know, but it was as if they were like trying to like use their power and their prestige to like,
Right.
it felt kind of like power gamey,
Yeah.
you know? And
Totally.
because I was like, I don't know. It was so weird. It was
There's
the weirdest
always
thing.
like these middle managers marching around at these types of gigs
Yeah.
who are on a power trip.
Right.
It's like they think that their boss will only respect them if they look as stressed as possible.
Yeah.
And the way to be stressed is to be like barking at the vendors that are below them.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
really
but it was
funny.
no, it was really humiliating, but and I was sad on the cab ride back, but like I liked it.
Yeah.
I'm glad it happened.
I'm glad it happened too.
I'm glad it happened because I'm just like, this is so interesting.
Yeah.
Imagine like never being fired. Imagine like never being told no. Imagine if, yeah, I don't know. Who would I be like? Probably like a big baby. I would be a
Yeah.
big old baby.
Yeah. You'd just be a big squishy baby.
Yeah. But
You wouldn't have any hard edges because you'd be so squishy.
yeah. But it was a crazy thing. I mean, yeah. Do I like Ferraris? Do I still like Ferraris?
Sure.
Sure. I like red. Red's a great color. Italy rocks. You know, I like the big horse. Or is that Lambo? Lamborghini. I don't know. Also, Ferrari yellow. I like that color too. Do I like going fast in a car? Yeah. Do I like seeing rappers that pop in and out of a thing when I'm like playing music and being like bopping around? Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah.
But
I love that.
the experience of being fired sucks at first and is really confusing. And then afterwards, just laugh at it. You have to, because otherwise you'll get it like a little wrinkle.
Yeah, you're going to get a little wrinkle in your
You don't
brain.
want, God forbid, you get a little wrinkle.
I'm trying to think of my firing stories.
Yeah.
I mean, one time, I've definitely bombed several auditions.
Yeah.
Back when I believed when they were real. And I got fired from being a babysitter.
Nice.
And in retrospect, I understand why.
Uh-oh.
Because I used to do this thing when I moved to New York where I was just like scrambling around for any type of jobs I could find.
Yeah.
And one job was going to this woman's house at 5 a.m. to watch her baby while she got ready for work.
Yeah.
And I showed up for my first day of work, and it was like an hour-long commute to be there for an hour.
Yeah.
And I think she thought I would be like an old, nanny type.
Uh-huh.
And she kind of just sent my ass home.
Did she pay you for the hour?
I think she might have paid me for that one day, but I
Wow.
was like, thought I was going to be set for work for a little while.
Yeah.
And I think she told me it was because I didn't have like a degree in babies, something to do with babies. She was like, I just need someone with like an education in like childcare.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This bitch. Are you kidding me? What, you think your
Yeah.
baby's a genius? You think
Yeah.
you're growing a little Einstein over here?
Yeah.
You dumb whatever. Are you serious?
Yeah.
People have the craziest. People have the most ridiculous requirements for things that they didn't even know they had. It's like maybe for a while they wish they could do those things, and then they realized, oh, they can actually hire someone to do the things they want to eventually know how to do later on, but will probably never ever learn anyway.
Yeah.
Like childcare. Oof. Listen.
Yeah. I mean, there are definitely like gigs I should have gotten fired from.
Yeah.
You know, where I was really phoning it in, or really stealing food. You know, that type of thing, where I really got away with something. You know, it's tough to get fired when you don't really have a job.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's possible I've been fired from jobs, but firing is just that person never calls you again.
Yeah. Oh, that's so interesting.
Like
It's like it doesn't even matter if we get fired from a gig here or there.
Right. We might have been fired.
Yeah.
And we just don't know it.
Exactly.
Oh, someone tried to fire me recently.
Ooh, tell me.
Well, I called them and I said, what if instead you don't fire me? Do you
Whoa.
remember this?
What?
Yeah.
What was that? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And you were there the longest. You were
Tried to-
senior. You were senior.
Tried to replace me.
Despite your very youthful age and appearance. You were still senior at that
Yeah.
place.
So that's a hot tip for all you people out there is I got an email saying, here's the new way things are going to be.
Yeah.
Immediately I called this person and I was like, what if instead we don't do this?
Genius.
And then I think they were taken aback.
Yeah.
And I think I did a little bit of steamrolling them. And I just steamrolled my way back.
Can you please tell me what steamrolling is? Like you iron out something that's cracking or
No,
there's cement
steamroll-
involved? Like, please tell me.
You know that big thing that's like that roller machine
Yeah.
over concrete?
Yes.
And it just goes and just flattens
What I'm
everything in
saying.
its path?
Yeah.
That's what I did. I steamrolled.
So this person had something to say and you went, no,
No.
that's not it.
Instead, we'll do the opposite.
Steamrolling is a tactic that works. It does work. And in your case, it did. And
It really did work.
perhaps do it more.
Sure.
You're fired.
So, Ghost of Gags passed.
Ghost of Gags passed.
Recent gag story.
Recent gag. We have to do this. We have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's this event that happens in New York City. It's called the Upfronts. It's Upfront Week.
Yeah.
All the advertisers come to New York.
Yes.
The TV networks pitched them on why they should give that network their business.
I love it.
Each network has a day.
This is America.
This is America.
Yeah.
So last year I had a gig at one network. I don't know if I should say. I don't think it matters.
Did you sign an NDA?
I don't recall. But
It
it doesn't matter. So
No.
I had one and then I had another one.
Oof.
And that's where I saw Kim Kardashian in the flesh.
Did you squeeze anything?
She was too fast for me to squeeze anything.
She was small though.
So small,
Tiny. Like short and skinny.
very short,
But
surrounded by people
yeah.
moving in a hive. Okay.
Yeah.
The point of my story that I'm about to tell is like, if you're ever watching TV
Yeah.
and you think that someone is making this TV for you to watch,
Yeah.
do you think that you're the consumer?
Yeah.
No,
You're not. It's all fake.
it's for ads.
It's for ads.
It's all
What?
for ads. Yes.
Whoa.
This event that I played was like more stacked in production value than the Oscars. It was
Yo.
crazy. It was like, first of all, it was at this huge venue, full orchestra hired.
Wow.
Seth MacFarlane was hired to write a song for the event,
That's millions of dollars worth.
backed by an orchestra, a song that only these advertisers will ever hear.
That's even more.
Yes. full dance brigade behind him.
This is how the sausage is made.
Yeah.
Okay? FYI. Tune in. All right?
Props,
Pay attention.
like this entire dance number
Yeah.
for the advertisers. Every celebrity you can name was there. Michael Jordan was like doing a Zoom call in. Tina Fey.
Basketball guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Amy Poehler. And everyone. Okay, the Wicked guy, John Chu, the director.
Yeah.
He comes out. He's like, please don't take any videos of this, but I'm going to show you the trailer for the second Wicked movie early.
Oh, they're already doing that?
Yeah, they were just like,
You know what? They probably filmed both at the same time.
they did.
Yeah. Of course.
So they were just pulling out every stop they could. At one point, the orchestra's like coming up, and there's this famous opera singer, I don't remember which one, who's just like did a quick little song with us, and then we go back down.
Yeah.
It was non-stop. Celebs, production, all for the advertisers, and that's a PSA to you all.
Yeah.
Okay? It's not for you.
Yeah.
It's a vehicle for ads. The real show is the ads.
The real show is the ads. Starbucks is actually a bank. Netflix is trying to give you brainworms. Okay, all of this stuff is real. Imagine what you thought, completely the opposite.
It's the opposite.
So, upside down, right? Turn it around. This is the theme.
The
It
theme?
was you're fired, and now it's everything is not as it seems.
Everything is ads.
Everything is ads.
What's the flip side of you're fired? Everything is ads.
Everything is ads. You're fired.
It's ads.
Really good.
Yeah.
Who was the person you saw who you liked the most?
I really loved seeing Seth MacFarlane.
I like him too.
He had a
What can I say?
really good voice.
Really smart.
He looked pretty sad.
Oh no.
And he was one of those celebs that like, they were like, here's Seth MacFarlane orchestra. And he just did like a, hey.
You know what? I think the boop got to him.
Really?
The boop, boop, boop. Probably.
Yeah, he looked pretty low energy.
Yeah, he probably signed on the dotted line of a contract that he will never be able to get out of. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I do. Everyone there seemed to be gotten by the boot because everyone seemed like they were at a gig. He was at a gig.
He was at a gig.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, he knows what it's like to have complete creative control and free reign. But this was his BFG, big fat gig.
He was honestly like at a hot girl gig.
He was at a hot girl gig, yeah.
Because he wrote a song that was just trashing the other TV networks. He doesn't
We're all
care
at a
about
gig.
that.
We're all at our big gig of life, which is being a human, all right? I don't know what my next form is going to be, but this is my gig for now. Okay?
My next form, I think, would be some type of gas.
You want to be a... What? Of course you'd be a gas. Duh. Makes sense.
Yeah.
You're emitting stuff as we speak.
Constant smells.
Smells, soft, like poofs coming out of this region.
There's always
Steam coming out of your ears.
Yeah, there's always a fluid.
No, not a fluid, a gas. Because we're talking about gas.
What's your next form going to be?
Interesting. So now I guess I'm solid and liquid and gas. Maybe I'll be solid, liquid, gas. What else is there? Nothing. There's only
Ideas? Abstract?
three. Ooh, yeah. Maybe I'll just be like light. I think that's what I'm going to be. I'm going to be light.
Yeah.
Electricity. Boom.
Yeah.
That's what I'll be.
That would be sick.
Yeah. But, I heard some tea. Speaking of
say it
getting
now.
fired. So there was this tour called the Spider-Verse Tour.
Yeah.
And it was, like, I guess my understanding was that they played Spider-Verse and there was an orchestra on the stage. Okay, that happens all the time, right? That's like a regular gig. You got you have hot girl gigs. You have NBC upfronts. You have Spider-Verse
Yes.
playing orchestra scores in front of the movie happening.
Yeah.
Okay, these are all within our world. They happen all the time. So they were doing Spider-Verse. So they got, apparently, this 26-year-old lady, maybe hot, maybe not, probably hot.
Sure.
So we think it was a Nepo hire.
Okay.
Because right out of school, she gets hired to be a conductor of this tour.
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Other than Florida, which was her home state, she was a complete monster to everyone on tour. She was she was wielding her power, threatening to fire people left and right. Oh. Yeah.
Except when she was in Florida. Then she was nice?
Then she was nice. And get this. Second to last city of this tour was New York City. She quits right before the last one because she didn't feel like leaving the city.
Oh, she was just looking for a free ride to New York.
She was just looking for a free ride to New York. That was her grift. She didn't want to go up to Buffalo, so she quit. They didn't even end up using anyone, so they could have played that whole entire thing without her anyway.
They did Buffalo conductorless.
Yeah. Because guess what? They were on a click track, which when you realize you're on a click track playing to a movie, you know that the conductor is essentially a used car balloon.
Yeah, unless you're a good conductor.
Unless you're a good conductor who's there to draw a crowd.
Exactly.
Yes.
Unless you know what your job is.
Yes.
And it sounds like she thought her job was admin, firing people.
Firing people. She fired their bus driver. She fired.
Keep him.
Yeah.
You got to keep him.
She fired some brass player, and she threatened to fire an acquaintance of mine, ours, who I got this tea from. And
thank you for the tea, acquaintance.
Yeah, and apparently this person was under fire by the conductor.
Oh, about to be fired?
Because they didn't look up enough.
Oh. Wow.
So she wanted eye contact. She wanted communication from the musicians.
Wow.
Apparently, they didn't look up enough.
She wanted validation that her job was necessary.
Absolutely.
But what she did, she turned it around.
She turned it around.
She quit because she wanted a free bus ride to New York and turned it around. Turns out your job is not necessary.
Amazing.
I just
Amazing
realized
grift.
I gotta go.
You guys, you're fired. All right? You're fired because this pod's coming to an end for this episode.
And you thought you were listening to Pod? Turn it around.
Turn it around.
You're not anymore.
Yeah. Pod's going to be done in 5, 4, 3. It was great playing with you.
It was great playing with you.
2, 1.